called Northville Psychiatric Hospital.
Mm.
And we went there so many times that we had like the whole place mapped out. It was like multiple buildings. Then there was like the big actual like hospital building, a bunch of like little side buildings. Nothing super duper crazy really ever happened there. But there was this one particular time. Well, I guess it was two times altogether, but this first time we were up on one of like the top stories to where the actual big hospital part was, and there wasn't any wind or anything on this floor. Most of the windows were all intact, and we're walking down this long hallway, and there was this door that had a smiley face spray painted on it, which was also kind of weird, and it slammed shut in front of us. So we all jumped. We're all like, okay, that was weird. So we pulled the door back open. We let it sit. We hang out for a little while. Like, it doesn't slam. We don't feel any wind or anything on that floor. So that was a little bit weird. So I believe it was that same day. So we'd never been down in the basement before. And underneath Northville, there's the Northville tunnels, which they connect like down underneath the city. And one of the entry points is down in the basement of Northville Hospital. So we decided we were going to go down and try to explore the tunnels. So we get down into the basement and we start looking around different random, like, I don't even want to say they're rooms, because it was like a big long hallway and there was a bunch of different like brick walls, and some of them are like busted in. So they're kind of like doorways, but not exactly doorways.
Right.
So I turn into this one. I'm the first one, and I have two other people with me. It's my girlfriend and her friend. And as I step into this room, I see, the best way to describe it is like I guess you could say like the old like carts, like they push around in like hospitals and stuff, like a little buggy carts. And I walk in the room and I hear run on the side of my ear. And as I hear that, I look over behind the cart and I start seeing this thing stand up, and it looks like it's tall, has like pale white skin with like long black hair. And as it's standing up, I'm like, nope. So I take off out of there. I start running. I go up the stairs. As in the process of this, just to add into like the overall fear of it, I like wake up a couple bats or something. So a couple bats are flying around up the staircase as I'm trying to run up the staircase.
Of course.
So we go to leave after that. But as we're going to leave, we start just kind of taking pictures behind us. And I'll have to send it to you after the show. But we get what this thing looks like within like a picture. As it was like following us, but we had to like drop the resolution a lot, but you can see like the shape of it because she was taking it in pitch black hallways.
Mm-hmm.
So later on that night, we're back at, it's just her and I back at our house. We're hang out upstairs because that's where like her bedroom is and stuff. So we go downstairs, and when we go downstairs, she walks straight into the kitchen. But as she walks into the kitchen, her and I are both staring at this very dark.
So I said on a show, a couple of weeks ago, that I hear another dimension or interdimensional almost too much. But in this case, in this kind of circumstance, this is totally different. This is where I think that you are going through interdimensional kind of experiences. I was afraid I was going to get some flack for saying it, a couple of weeks ago, but I just meant like in that instance, people would say, well, what's Bigfoot? I don't know. Interdimensional. What are aliens? I don't know. Interdimensional. And, it was like, it's like a blanket statement for so many things. But when you're actually experiencing some sort of seemingly interdimensional travel, and being on the, like you said, the opposite side of the Mandela effect, it's kind of justified to talk about, the multiverse or whatever you want to call it, man.
And I've heard a lot of different stories about different people having experiences like that, where they woke up and felt like they were somewhere else, and they'll just notice weird little differences. Like somebody's like breed of dog was different in one of the stories I heard, but everything else was normal. So I don't know if people are able to jump dimensions in a sense too. I feel like the most logical place to do it would be in your dream, because in that sense, I kind of feel like your soul, or whatever you want to call it, your consciousness, leaves your vessel. So like theoretically it could jump into your same vessel but in another dimension, and who's to say that whatever consciousness was in that one didn't switch with you and now they're in your reality. So like both of you are mixed up, but both of you keep going on never really knowing like what happened.
Well, I hope my rich self jumps up one of these mornings.
You mean both.